pay. Just a jukebox and no DJ. Just a jukebox and no DJ. The smaller the club, the bigger the party. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday, baby. Something about this room. You heard what it said. The smaller the club, the bigger the party. Watch out now. It's Friday night. Friday night lights. Huh? I'm Orangey and it's the Orangey SWAC Sports Network. You gotta let that song play a little bit. Now somebody wanna play some messages. Go on somewhere. It's a party up in here. It's Friday night, baby. Huh? Follow the Orangey SWAC Sports Network. This Saturday, we got a host of games coming up, and I'd like to see it. Every game will be televised this week, except for the Bethune-Cookman and Southern game. For some reason, ESPN Plus is not carrying them. The Sports Digital Network is carrying Bethune-Cookman and Alabama A&M. ESPN Plus is carrying Grambling and Alabama State. Alcorn and Texas Southern is going to be on the SWAC Digital Network. And Prairie View and the Rattlers ESPN Plus. And of course, Jackson State is going to be on HBCU Go. So all the games are being televised except the Southern game. And Southern has the most to gain out of all the teams tomorrow. I don't get that, but it is what it is. But we're going to head on and get started. Come on up in here. Hey, grab your drink. Whatever you need to get yourself in that groove. Before I go back out, the reason why I'm wearing this shirt today, this is Malcolm X Try Me. To all the students and children that are receiving those hateful text messages, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I got your back. I'm ready to go Nat Turner. I am the son of Mandingo. So those messages that's being sent out to HBCU students and those children talk about picking cotton, tell them to send the messages to me and I will meet them anywhere, anytime. That's all I got to say about that. Try me. I'm not playing. All right, let's get this thing cracking, man. You already know I got to hit y'all with a little black known SWAC fact. And today's little black known SWAC fact is this man right here, Jackson State's own. This is the GOAT of offensive linemen that ever played in the NFL, in my opinion. This man right here, Mr. Jackie Slater, this is the GOAT when it comes to that. Look at this. This man played 20 seasons. You already know he blocked for Mr. Walter Payton. He blocked for Eric Dickerson. This man actually blocked for 6 different running backs that rushed over 1,000 yards. His stats, it just don't do him any justice, man. If you look at Mr. Jackie Slater and what he was able to accomplish, good old country boy. And can you imagine that big old man playing basketball? Played basketball also. So way before people were two sports athletes that thought they dominated, this man was one of the best in the business, man. And another one, drafted in the 3rd round. That's fine. I keep telling folks, if you look at the history of HBCUs, especially in the SWAC, some of your greatest players at that position, I think outside of Walter, Jerry, and Steve, and a few other people, it's very few that actually went in the 1st round. These men went in the later rounds, and still to this day, you cannot touch the stats of some of these players. And what I also liked about Mr. Jackie Slater, I always tell people, the best compliment doesn't come from your coach or family or friends. The best compliment comes from your teammates. The way that Mr. Slater talked about Walter Payton and Eric Dickerson is something that we all need to look at. These were actually men who actually loved each other. not only as teammates, but as brothers. And I think that's what we're missing a lot in today's athletes, your teammates. Mr. Slater would go on to say that people came across the country. That's how good Mr. Payton was. Jackie Slater said people would come across the country to train with Walton because they knew he had that it factor. And some of these players get credit. A lot of them don't, man. But, you know, this guy, I mean, Mr. Slater, man, I found a few little highlights on him. Where is it at? He's a game changer. More than a game changer, man. Mr. Slater was the truth. Let me get myself off the screen. I know y'all don't want to look at me. I turn this thing on. I think I got it zoomed too high. Hold on, I'm having a little technical difficulty. Oh man, come on, bro. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Here it is. Jackie Slater, Jackson State's very own, 20 seasons with one team. Look at them records he set. That's one little highlight of him. But I mean, now that's another thing that I've been beating SWAC people up about. Hey, you got players like this. They had video film on these people. Y'all need to have outstanding highlights of these great athletes, man. And I just think it just does a disservice when you don't have highlights that you can actually show people. Because I'm like, man, because I was looking for Jackie Slater highlights and you just didn't find any. But another little black known SWAC fact. Guess who was the first marching band from an HBCU to perform in the school? At the Rose Parade. You ain't got to wait that much longer. I'm about to tell you who was the first school to perform in the marching band. You see it. There it is. You see it.
The lively tempo approaching is the rhythmic, exciting band of Mississippi Valley State College.
Yeah. Ellie. The Rose Parade.
Strutting proudly on this beautiful New Year's Day, they lead the way for National Orange Show's entry.
There it is. That's a little back known SWAC history fact along with Mr. Jackie Slater. You can't get no better than that. I didn't know Valley even marched, and I thought I knew everything about Valley. They marched in the Rose Parade. They was the first HBCU to do it. Now seems like every year or every other year you got an HBCU band. And shout out to the band, man. If folks don't understand, the HBCU bands have more followers on the internet than probably the football and basketball team does. But let's get to week 11 into the SWAC. Now, week 11, we got some wild stuff going on. Question to the few people that's in here, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Do you think if Coach Manor loses to UAPB, will he be fired? Grambling, is there any magic left in that hole? Any kind of voodoo? Any kind of something where you think you can pull off a victory against Alabama State? You playing them in the hole. Crazy things happen in the hole. Alabama State doesn't have an offense. Grambling at one time was leading the nation in turnovers. Texas Southern Alcorn. Alcorn, from here on out, you have to play every single game like it's your last game. You have to win. You're in a must-win scenario right now. You're on a 2-game losing streak to Texas Southern. You have to win, and you need some help after that. The Bethune-Cookman Southern game, I don't know which one of these teams are going to show up. And what I mean by that, we seen Southern right here, live stream, play like ass against FAMU. We seen Bethune-Cookman look crazy, but Bethune-Cookman just upset Grambling. Do you think that Bethune-Cookman, Hell Wildcats, have enough to defeat Southern? That's a damn good question. I think that's going to be the most intriguing game, but as of now, it's not being televised. But if I find it, I gotta do something. I need to see this game. FAMU and Prairie View. It's rumbling in Prairie View, but they might want to go a different direction from Coach Bubba McDowell. But I don't do rumors, so I don't believe none of that stuff. Who you gonna get? Yeah, it's Texas. Great football, but if Bubba can't turn the program around, who? And FAMU, they feel they sell, especially against Prairie View. They didn't thump Prairie View so many times. Now, the game that's going to be the most televised game, I'm telling you now, Jackson State, not too much on Valley. We ain't going to do that on Valley now. Go ahead and let Herb Mulligan get his 150, 175 yards, and y'all shut it down. Valley, just pray for bad weather and weather the storm. We going to be all right, Valley. You know, there's always next year. But the good thing about it, Valley, all these teams talking about Mississippi Valley, it's going to be 9 other y'all sitting over there with Valley come at the end of November. Check that out. Then them standings. Hey, I'm telling you, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. Jackson State will be 6-0. And Alabama State, I don't know. I really don't know if they can beat Grambling in that hole. But then again, Grambling got some crazy quarterback issues. But the hole does have magical powers. Got to ask Jackson State about that. But it is what it is. FAMU, I don't see them having a problem with Prairie View. Bethune-Cookman, you go down there into Baton Rouge. Hey man, don't let them boys put you out on Plank Road. You know, or down on the north side of Baton Rouge. You might not come up out of there. Coach Manor, I promise you, if you lose the UAPB, you're going to be 1-4 in the SWAC. Think about that. You're going to be 1 game above Valley if you lose to UAPB. And UAPB has to bounce back. The Texas Southern Alcorn game, it's going to be a much-watched game. Thank goodness for the SWAC Digital Network. Now, the SWAC Digital Network, what's that thing at? The SWAC Digital Network, you can watch the games, but they don't allow commentary. They don't allow commentary on the games, but you can watch the games. It's free. It's on YouTube. The HBCU Go. If you don't have the app, you can just download it. You can watch. I got it on my phone and on these computers up here, and I don't see why anybody can't watch the games. Comment. Here's a comment. It says, I think Manor contract in after the season. Okay, so win, lose, or draw, they're going to be stuck with him for what they got? 3 more games left? Oh, they got to go play they got to play FAMU at the end of the season because of that game. So, I mean, the coaching situation in the SWAC, we have 5 new head coaches. Which coach you think performed the best? With their first season, which coach do you think performed the best? FAMU had, 31 portal players? To put 31 transfer players together in one season and and your record is 5-3 overall so far. You 3-1 in the conference. You think he had the better record, or Alcorn? They're 4-5 overall. They starting to fade off, but they are 3-2 in the record. Southern, first time head coach. He's 4-1 in the SWAC, 5-4 overall. So if you think about these new head coaches, the 5, and think about which one was able to come in and establish their plan and have their team to buy into it. The quarterback play in the situations, I think Alabama State is on their 5th quarterback, but you got a veteran coach and a pretty good defense. So I really believe that the preseason rankings really messed up a lot of these teams' head. I mean, you had Jackson State was supposed to finish 3rd in the SWAC behind Alabama State and FAMU, and Alcorn was supposed to win the SWAC West. So when you have situations like putting, I think, not pressure, but you want the teams to live up to the hype. Look at the preseason player of the year, Miles Crawley. I expected a lot from Miles. I ain't gonna lie. I still believe that young man was hurt during the Jackson State game. But who knows though, man? I have no idea. And also what we got to look out for also, if Jackson State is going to say they're the SWAC champions, with FAMU would probably have the next back or Alabama State. Do you think either one of those schools will get invited to the playoffs? Something to look at also. I mean, it's the FCS. So really don't know, man, what we got in store when it comes to that. But how it's looking, all roads lead through Jackson for the playoffs. I mean, not playoffs, for the SWAC championship game. I can see a scenario also if Southern slips up and Jackson State would have to play Alcorn State twice. But if Southern take care of business and then you have Alcorn lose tomorrow, and Fairview definitely look like they're going to lose, they might, Southern can clinch tomorrow. So, I mean, you can look at it that way also. But I was looking at earlier today, Irv Mulligan. How many of y'all think Irv Mulligan can actually get to 1,000 yards? That'll be Jackson State's 2nd 1,000-yard rusher within the in the last 2 years. He's at 700 yards right now. So with them playing Valley and then Alabama State, is it possible for him to get 1,000 yards, or will you think they will shut him down before they play Alabama State? I mean, I think 1,000 yards is great, but then again, why would you want to rush? What's the name? Risk injury. So if you look at his stats right here, I mean, the dude, man, you know, of course, the next game he's playing against Valley. If you look at what he was been able to do since he got to Jackson State, and I'm glad he stayed. Most people would have took the road and left. He's only had 100 carries, 703 yards, averaging 6.9, well, almost 7 yards. And, you know, as long as touchdown run is 54 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then you go further down, and you can see, what was that, last year? Yeah. going back from last year, the man just been getting better and better and better, man. So I think now, my opinion, Irv Mulligan is the SWAC Player of the Year. Now, a lot of people might disagree, but who do you think is better, playing better football in the SWAC right now than Irv Mulligan? That's something to ask yourself. Who do you think is better than, at Jackson State? If I'm not mistaken, they have a new offensive line coach, or whoever they hired, or whoever, even if he's not new, they have done a great job. I mean, it's all about building, man. Every year that he's played there, look at the progression. That's about building a team, building a running back. Think about it. Look at 2022. Look what he had. He had 123 yards. 123 carries. Was at 848 yards. So he's gotten so much better. Less carries, and he's now definitely, man. I say get a guy 175 yards and take him out. So, but you can check these people's stats out, man. And this is my player, and I've said this for about 2 weeks. I said I haven't seen anybody better than that. You lucky this man just don't run all over you. So that's who I'm picking for Player of the Year. Miss Rawls say, I agree. It's Irv. He's worked hard and so deserving. I agree with you. I like I said, I've been watching a lot of SWAC football. I watch just about every game, and I haven't seen anybody that can touch him when it comes to playing football. I know who I'm most disappointed in, and I'm not dogging the young man, but I thought Miles Crowley was going to throw all over the SWAC. After that game that he had against LSU last year, and it was coming on, I said, he's the prototype quarterback. And I don't think, well, some of y'all might remember from Grambling, Bruce Eugene, the big quarterback. He's actually a coach, Miles. So, that's true. Because Jackson State does have another running. That little young man from, I think he's from Georgia. That little running back they got, that little 5'8" joker, that dude's going to be some trouble, man. He's going to be some trouble. I hope he stays at Jackson State, man. And I think TC Taylor is doing a great job. I think a lot of SWAC coaches are doing great jobs. Now I am disappointed in Coach Manor. I ain't going to lie. I thought Coach Manor would do a lot more. And FAMU's first year head coach, I'm impressed with him. I just think that he didn't have enough time to get that defense the way he wanted to get it. Because FAMU usually have a pretty good run defense. And they have no running game. But that quarterback will put 3 touchdowns up on you real quick. I guarantee you that. So I think overall, besides the quarterback, the inconsistent play at quarterback, I think it's been a pretty decent season. Attendance at the classics were through the roof. For the Magic City Classic, the State Fair Classic, great attendance at those games. But when it comes to home games, I just don't understand how you can have 69,000 people or 67,000 people at a Magic City Classic. Then the next week you have 7,000 at your own home stadium. Crazy. That's just me talking. We got to do better with that, man. This game, Jackson State versus Valley. The weather might play a big part tomorrow, but you always can count on Jackson State to have 30,000 fans there. When Jackson State go down in the woods to Lorman, that's what they hold. 21,000, I think. That's a guaranteed sellout. The Bayou Classic, the game that I'm going to, only because it's Orleans. Probably going. Well, if It depends. To me, it depends on the Southern. It's always going to be over 50,000 there. It depends on if Southern has a chance to clinch. And then Grambling would like to play spoiler, but the game, it may be too late. But, you know, wacky as that SWAC West is, you just have no idea, man. I really believe that the Bethune-Cookman FAMU game, I've never been to that classic, the Florida Classic. I've never been to either one of those stadiums because they just joined the SWAC. So I'm still trying to get into it. But you really want to travel to go see Bethune play? So, I mean, it's one of those things, man. Something you think about, like, man, I ain't going down there to see that crap. But hey, but I'm definitely. Oh yeah, I forgot the where's this thing at? The ladies playing soccer, man. Some of them ladies got sent home. They got their behind kicked. I know Jackson State lost. They got upset. Forgot to get, man. Come on, bro. This thing do not want to act right. Sitting there trying to get this, man. Ain't gonna act right, man. Anyway. Here we go. Yeah, those ladies for the soccer. Yeah, this is on SWAC Digital Network also. The next game coming, Texas Southern. Man, I think Texas Southern gonna win the whole tournament. They actually winning 2-1 right now. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, Southern beat Alabama State. Jackson State lost to Alabama A&M. And Valley, at least you made the tournament. You lost to Grambling 1-3 in today's game. Texas Southern beat Alabama A&M. It's pretty much theirs for the taking. Back to all right, getting that over with. Now, the games that's coming on tomorrow. I said, fam, you got their first rushing touchdown last week? Nah, that's wild, man. You've been playing 10 weeks of football and you got one rushing touchdown. But I did see now Southern T said, if there's a Southern fan in here, let me know, is there a Southern a quarterback controversy at Southern? Because one week T said to have a good game, and then the next week T said is sitting on the bench. Grambling, I have no idea who's going to be the quarterback. I can tell you that now. They had like 3 of them up in there, man. I said, man, god damn. So wasn't too much news or anything going on. But I can tell you this is Veterans Weekend, and contrary to the belief, I haven't drank a shot of anything. But come tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, I'm partying like it's 1999. Yes, I'm a veteran. I served 20 years in the military. I went to Iraq 5 different times, served 5 years in the combat zone. So I party hard for veterans. So I'm actually kind of sober tonight. And then, oh, that's another thing. The Alabama State Jackson State game, playing in Montgomery. with Jackson State ability to, they're a ground running team. Do you think Alabama State defense, I'm looking past the Valley game for a reason. Do you think Alabama State defense can hold Herb Mulligan under 100 yards? Because I'm not sold on Morgan as being a downfield passer. Remember last week he threw an interception against UAPB, which it was a crazy, I would have never thrown that ball. But if Alabama State is forcing Jackson State to pass, if they put six, well, it's already 4. So they put 7 in the box. You don't think Alabama State can stop Herb Mulligan? That's going to be the key to that game. Now, Alabama State problem is on Jackson State, against Jackson State. Phillip Webb and that company on that defensive line, that's going to be something serious. That little quarterback going to be running for his life. That's what I'm looking for the most. But, you know, this week, like I said, the Bethune-Cookman and Southern game, both of them teams are loony. Think about it. Bethune-Cookman couldn't beat nobody but Valley. And Southern, when they went and played FAMU, Southern looked like a D2 team. Then the following week, TxSU gets up in there and he looked like a young Steve McNair. So what gives it Southern? What gives it Bethune-Cookman? I really don't know. I mean, so let's look at some stats, man. I like them stats. There. Overall offense. I still don't see how Alabama State has the second number 2 overall offense. And Grambling is number 3, followed by Pine Bluff. See, Southern is at number 10 on offense, but they're number 3 in defense. And then you're playing against Bethune. Bethune-Cookman is 11th in offense and 11th in defense. So on paper, Southern should be able to mollywop Bethune. But then again, man, my relatives in Baton Rouge, y'all good for doing jambalaya. That's about it, man. Y'all nah. They said Southern has the best homecoming, not homecoming, tailgating scene. There's a lot of people out there. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, nah. Every time I've been there, all I smell was burnt chicken wings. But hey, too much down there on Plank Road. Take it back down to the south side of Baton Rouge, where them house still up on bricks down that way. Yeah, nah, man. But all right, next one. The rushing. And you can see Jackson State is definitely 204 yards a game. They can probably be higher if they wanted to be. I think they turn off the gas on a lot of these teams, man. Man, passing. Now see, that's what I'm saying about Jackson State versus Alabama State. Jackson State, due to their great rushing game, they're number 6 in passing. But, they're blowing everybody out. But, Jackson State will run all over you. And, of course, well, see, look at that. Valley is not last in either category when it comes to passing offense and passing defense. See? Tell them. Texas Southern is the worst passing offense. So Alcorn, I'm gonna tell you this: Alcorn, if you get beat by the worst passing team in the SWAC, you got some issues. So hold on, let me see where Texas Southern is at in rushing. Okay, they number 5 in rushing, and Alcorn is number 8 in rushing defense. I don't know, man. So it should be just a good running game then. I don't know. Texas Southern cannot pass the football. And Alcorn, Alcorn can't pass either. They number 10. So they're going to be out there playing two-hand touch tomorrow. Gotta be. Neither one of them can pass. Damn. What? Yeah, that's all right. Texas Southern Alcorn, y'all might be sitting on the couch with me and Valley watching the SWAC championship game. Just saying. Yeah. That efficiency. The offensive efficiency, though, I mean, I can see Jackson State why they number 1. I don't see how Southern defense, when it comes to efficiency, they're number 1. But, yeah, it's a lot goes into those stats. And like I said, the special teams in the SWACs, man, and the SWAC has dramatically changed. Man, some of y'all don't remember, man, some SWAC schools couldn't kick a field goal, and they couldn't punt 10 yards. Now the punters and the field goal kickers, it's a totally different ball game. Now, I tell you what, if it comes down to a field goal between Bethune-Cookman and Southern, I'm taking Southern all day. That young brother be booting 45-yarders, man. If you ain't seen that cat kick, man, I said, my goodness, where the hell you was at? And so, let's exit out of this. But I hope, Carl said, bullshit. What's bullshit, Carl? Are you talking about the Alcorn and Texas Southern? I said they're gonna be out there playing two-hand touch. Well, neither one of them. Hey, man, neither one of them can throw the ball. If that's what you was talking about. But I expect a good game. But like I said, Texas Southern has a 2-game winning streak. Some teams get into a mental block. Southern is at a mental block right now with Jackson State. I believe that. 5 games in a row. Now, what was that, in the 90s? I think, yeah, the 90s. Yeah, I used to come home because the Jukebox Classic used to be played in the Superdome. And Southern had beat Jackson State like 8 years in a row. It was a mental block, I believe they had. Thousands and thousands of people was there. The dome was sold out a couple of times, man. I'm glad they moved that back to each other's campus. But I really believe Texas Southern, they might have an old Jedi mind trick over Alcorn. You never know, though. But I do believe the ghost of Fred McNair is real. The curse of him. I mean, I think it was She I Love. She had a video. It was so funny to me that it was Fred McNair. After they beat Alcorn, all the players started going up to him, giving him hugs and congratulations. I said, I don't know if I can do that one, man. I'll give you that old head nod up like that and keep it going, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. So Alcorn has to break that curse against Texas Southern, a team that they should dominate on paper. But it's one thing on paper, then one thing when you get on the field. And so, because last week, I thought Alabama State, especially with the injury and the young man getting kicked out of the game, I thought Alcorn would win it. But hey, stuff happens, man. So, I don't really see what is that? Oh, I can tell you what one thing Southern good for. I think I'm 100% sure I was at this anything like in the early 90s. I was at those football games. Where's the thing at? I think I lost it already. Oh, here it is. Yeah, see, I was no. Yeah, those early 90 football games, man. You had to be there in the SWAC in the early 90s. I'm telling you, that was something to see. It was like this not one weekend, every home game. That was SWAC football. Halftime shows was halftime shows. Those shows used to keep everybody in their seat. The concession stand was the only place that was empty during halftime back then. That was real SWAC football. And I do agree with you that people don't cheer for the bands like they used to. That what I just showed you like that in the 90s, you would have the both teams, home and visitor teams, would try to come out that locker room a few minutes earlier just to catch a glimpse of one of these bands. Man, the bands kept the SWAC football in business like for a long time, kept the crowds coming in. And the and I'm not afraid to say it because I know I went to school with a lot of people. Once those PWIs started paying, that's when a lot of stuff just it didn't go like horrible, but a normal kid that would actually before these stars came around, say he was a 4 or 5 star, he would actually go to Southern or Grambling or 3-star or whatever, or he'd go to Jackson State. But those PWIs started paying. I mean, some of them was just giving cars, some of them giving houses. And I was telling folks, man, you got to understand, back then, $100,000, folks be like, oh, that's a lot of money. Man, them folks make that money on parking and lodging, because a lot of those schools have hotels on their campus or right around their campus, and that works with the school. Some crazy stuff that went on, man. But I will definitely tomorrow streaming. I ask people what game you want to see, because like I said, all the games are actually on the internet, except the ESPN Plus games. And I'm trying to think like what game do I want to stream. because with all these the digital networks and stuff, I mean, because Grambling, I don't know about watching them. And then it just depends on what game somebody put in the chat or send to my email or whatever. Say I want to watch. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 people watching the game. I'll show the game. If you can't, if you don't have ESPN Plus and your team is playing and say, hey man, I want to watch so and so, I will put the game on for you. Because I'll be up early in the morning. Anyway, but it's Friday night. I done held y'all in here a little too long. Friday used to be the small nights. So I'm gonna get on up out of here. You heard what that man say? Smaller the club, the bigger the party. I will definitely see y'all later. Y'all be easy. Something about this room, something